Hello everybody, welcome to PySpark interview problems. Uh, let's move ahead to the problem statement. So the problem statement, the difficulty level of this problem is medium. Actually by the interviewer you will be given two CSV files. One will be transaction.csv and the other will be customer.csv. Transaction.csv file will contain additional data with the following columns. These columns will be there in transaction.csv. He can give you the file or he can tell you just assume these columns are there in transaction.csv. So the column names are transaction ID, customer ID, amount and timestamp. Then he will tell you assume another table or a file customer csv customers.csv. It will contain some data and column name, customer ID, name, age and gender. Then he will tell you your task is to find the total transaction amount for each gender and age group. So let's say you have to find the total transaction amount, the uh, total money which was spent by each gender and age group. Let's say for female between 20 to 30, or for female above 40 age, or for female between 30 to 40. These kind of groups you need to find transaction amount for. There can be also male between a group of male between 20 and 30. What was the total transaction amount for this group? After that you will be asked to find the average transaction amount for each group. This was the total transaction for each group for female between 20 to 30 or 30 to 40. Now you will be asked to know the average of it. Like you need to divide the total transaction by number of transactions. Okay, I hope the problem statement is pretty clear. Let's move to how we can code it. I will be opening VS Code for this purpose. So let's start with importing necess necessary libraries. Okay, let's start by importing the necessary libraries. So I hope you have all of this set up already. You have set up PySpark and Java. These are required. I'm not going to do those things here. I'll just import a Spark session and then I will import call and expression. This will be used later on. You will get to know what are the uses of this. Then I will create, okay, sorry, it should be PySpark. Hold on. Then I will create a Spark session. We have already imported a Spark session. We'll use Spark session dot builder and then dot app name, let's say transaction analysis, maybe will be that. And then we'll do dot get or create. Dot get or create, then we'll run it. Okay, so what's the error here? Okay, so let's bring some hard coded data which will be required here. Okay, so these are some hard-coded data. The interviewer might give you a CSV file, or he might tell you, he will just check your logic. So that's not an issue. Now, with this data, we will create two data frames. One will be transactions BF spark dot create data frame. Okay, one second. We'll put the transaction data and we'll put the schema, or you can say the column name in the next parameter. The column's name will be transaction ID, and then customer ID, then amount, then timestamp. Hope this part is very clear. We have just used the hard-coded data and we have given a column name for all this data. Let's see what kind of data frame is created here. Let's do show. Let's see what happened here. While this is running, we can write code for customer DF as well. Creating customer DF using hard coded data. Let's create it. Okay, so the data frame was created successfully. You can see that. And now spark dot create data frame. First we'll give, I think there's a lot of noise, something happening in my house, sorry about that. Construction is going on. So first we'll put the hard coded data. What is the hard coded data here? It's customer data. Then what are the columns we have? The columns are customer ID, name, age and gender. Customer ID, name, age and gender. We will be joining on customer ID, both of them later on. Let's do it. Customer ID, name, age and gender. Everything is done. Let's see if it was created successfully. I hope this was all fine. So the very first thing which we will do, we will be joining these two tables, because we cannot work with just one table, right? Here we also need the age and we also need the amount, the money which was spent, right? So the very first thing is we will be joining both the table. So result df1 will be transaction df dot join, so that we get all the columns in one place. We will be joining on the basis of customer ID, right? because we have that column in both the tables. I think it's all right. Let's just see if it was all right. I will be splitting every step to get to the result so that it will be very clear for you. But you don't need to split. You can just write the whole query at one place. You will know what I'm talking about later on. Let's just see the result if this table was joined properly. Okay, so we have everything for customer ID. We have the transaction ID, the amount. We have all the things from both the table. Okay, let's move ahead. Let's do the second thing. Result df2. We'll use the result df1. Uh, what was the problem statement? So the problem statement was that we will be given two table and we have to first group by, right? We have to first add another column stating we have to first add another column stating which age group it come into, 20 to 30 or 30 to 40 or whatever, or 40 plus. We have to first add this. We can use the expression for this. We will add another column name age group, right? Let's move to here and let's use with column. We'll go give a new column name age group. We will use expression here. Using expression you can write the query just like you do in SQL. You will use case when column age between, so this is the column age. If it is between 20 and 30, then we will give the value, the string 20 to 30, right? Let me see if it's all right. No issue, nothing, nowhere. I think it's all right. Now let's go to the next thing. It will be when age between 31 and 40, then we'll give a string 31 to 40. Later on we'll group on the basis of this age group and gender. Let's say female 20 to 30, female 31 to 40, female 40 plus, things like this. Now the last thing, else will give 41 plus, will end it. I think there's no error in this. Let's try running it. Let's see if it will give a proper age group column. You don't need to write the queries in separate. You can just write all of this together. I'll show you how to do that later on. But for the sake of simplicity, I'm telling you like this. Let's see what the result is. Okay. So it has given the result Let's see if it is correct. 25 female, the age group 20 to 30. 35 male, age group 31 to 40. 30 male, 20 to 30. 28 female, 20 to 30. 40, 31 to 40. It's perfect as we expected. Now what we will do, we need two numbers, right? First, we need the total transaction. The question asks us to have total transaction for a certain group. Let's say for this group, this one and this one. This is the same group, right? Female 20 to 30. What is the total transaction here? The sum of, where the transaction is, sum of this and this is the total transaction here, right? So first we need this, and then we also need the total number of this particular group. This particular group comes twice here. We need this because later on we need to calculate average as well. That's why we need the number as well. You cannot use aggregate directly, because if you do that, only the last aggregate will work. Like you cannot just do this AGG, then amount. When you are using two, you need to use functions. You need to import f for using two aggregate functions, right? You cannot use two aggregate function without importing f. Let me show you what I mean. Like you cannot do like this, amount. What is the error here? So okay, I hope you got the idea. You cannot write like this. Anyway, there's something wrong here, but you shouldn't write like this. You have to import function for it. Let's import function from PySpark dot SQL import function as f. Now, we'll name it result df3. You need not to separate all the queries in different data frame. Just for the sake of simplicity, I have done it so that you understand it more clearly. We'll group by we'll group by gender and age group, right? And then we'll use aggregate, and we'll use function which we imported, f dot sum amount. So first part of the question is completed. Through this f dot sum amount, we'll get the total transaction amount for each gender and age group. So I think this part will be sorted from this. Later on we need to calculate the average for this group as well, which I will show you later. Let's do this first. Dot alias total transaction amount. Let's do the second part. F dot count. We also need the number of time this particular group is coming. For female 20 to 30, it's come twice, right? So this part is very clear. If you have any confusion, don't forget to ask in the comment box. Don't forget to subscribe and like, guys. I'll keep on bringing new educational videos for you. Hope this is perfect. Looks nice to me. Let's see what happens. Okay, so the first part of the question is completed. We have for female 31 to 40, we have the total this. For female 20 to 30, we have the total this, which come two times. So for average, we will divide this by this and we'll get the average. Others are average already because the number of time they come is 1. Anyway, we'll divide and see what happens. This is the final thing we are going to do because we need to calculate what? We need to calculate the average, right? So let's name it 4 and let's use the result df3 and let's just do calculate average. We'll use with column, then we'll use we'll give a name average transaction amount. Then we'll use the call which we have already imported, and then we'll give total transaction amount. So this one is fine. Just paste it so that there's no scope of error, and then we will divide it by to calculate average. We have to divide it by total count, right? Hope this is very clear. We will divide it by total count. Let's run it. Let's see what the result is. It will add another column, average transaction amount, with the average value. Wonderful. You can see the average here. This is the average. Others are also average, but they came only once, so the average is same as the total amount. I think this is very clear. You have solved the problem which was asked. You were asked to first separate all the gender into groups, and then for all gender and group pair you need to calculate the total amount and then the total and then the average. This is the answer. I hope this is clear. Let me show you the problem statement one more time. This is the problem statement and we have successfully solved it. Now the last thing which I will do, you do not need to separately write all this transformation. So let me show you what I mean by this. You can just write all of these at one place. So we started from here, right? Let me name it combine transformation course. Let's just name one result result df, and first we'll do this to join, then let's bring it downward. Then what we did, then we did this on the first one, then we did this on the second one, Then is there something else? Then we did this. Let's keep these two separate only. Let me show you, this is also working. The whole transformation you can just write at once, and then just use this to calculate the average. You can use cache for these to work faster the next time you use it. It shows the same result as before, the whole transformation at one place. Now the last part, this one. It will just add another column, average transaction amount. I try to make it as simple as possible. I hope it was very understandable. If you have any question, any queries, let me know in the comment section. Worked beautifully. Thank you so much, guys. uh, to learning something new. I will try to teach you everything related to PySpark, data engineering, Python, Pandas, SQLs, big data. Stay tuned.